my name is Katie and I'm with Brander Self Consulting here in the great state of Minnesota. No.
The hell was that?
I cannot believe that we are approaching the end of 22. It's like a streak of shit.
Streak of shit.
Hello, my name is Katie and I'm here with Brand Yourself today to talk to you about our predicted 2023 marketing trends. I cannot believe that 2022 is out the door and we are already planning content and creating strategies for our clients for 2023. It's amazing and crazy, and where the heck did it go? Anyways, we have a lot of changes that are coming up and we wanted to give you a head start so you can start planning your content and you can create it so it actually pays off. That would be great, right? So first off, we recommend creating a multi-sensory experience for your audience on social media. What does that mean? You want to incorporate more than just images. You want to make sure you're using a lot of video. You want to make sure you're using audio as well. When you create content for YouTube and videos for YouTube, make sure that you have your video about 10 minutes, if not longer. We recommend 6 to 8 minutes because that helps you with your search results for the YouTube algorithm. Make sure it's engaging, make sure you're zooming in and out, make sure that you're adding little things all around just like I got up there. Another thing that you're gonna wanna do is when you are doing Reels and you're creating TikToks and you're doing video for LinkedIn and social, don't forget to film in the vertical. The reason, when you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. You're going to want to film in vertical because it fills your feed, just like how Instagram recently changed everything. And it allows people to see things more. So they'll see your actual video like this and not just a little itty bitty thing like this. So when you're doing YouTube shorts, when you're creating Reels, when you're creating TikToks, all those things, we recommend shorter form of content. That is typically the most engaging and that's the ones that are gonna give you the best results. So what do I mean by shorter content? We recommend 60 seconds or less. We're actually seeing about 30 seconds is the sweet spot. So short, throw rich keywords in your guys' captions, and then it'll help you with your SEO efforts. Another thing that you're gonna wanna do for 2023 is you have to be super transparent. We are in the era of fake news. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's not just politics. We're not even going there either. But when you are on social media, you want to show up as your authentic self, you want to be real, and you want to be transparent about the values that you have and also about like your privacy efforts and all of that stuff. When you are looking at your platforms, if you feel like there is a certain platform that doesn't align with the values that you have, you may want to consider actually stepping away. You don't have to be on all the platforms to be like this social media sensation. The best thing that you can do is to show up on a platform that you agree with and be yourself. Another thing that you're going to want to make sure is to have that two-step authentication on. I know it's annoying, but it keeps the people that you don't want on your site away from your stuff. They are not you, you are you. So make sure your stuff is secure. Keep on your websites, keep up with all of your plugins and your security updates. It's so important. I hear about it all the time. My website was hacked. What do I do? Well, did you get a backup? Is your stuff secure? Is your stuff update? Those things are there to help you. So do the due diligence, take the time, and if you're not doing it, make sure your team is doing it. When you are working with another organization and you're creating a partnership, whether it's an organization or an influencer, it is so important to ensure that your guys' values line up. I cannot stress that enough. That helps with your transparency. It helps with your authenticity as well. So that is another thing that you can do. And then finally, you want to talk with your audience about the privacy efforts and what you're doing to ensure that your relationship with them actually stays secure. It's super important, you guys. We are in this like crazy shitstorm and we just want to make sure that we are staying secure, we are being honest with our people, and if we mess up, we got to fess up and bring it to the table. Another trend that we are noticing is gone are the days of me on social. Social is not self-gratifying anymore. We need to come together as a community, and that is what you're going to see a ton of this next year. So with that, some things you can do. Make sure you're joining groups that are lined up with what your brand or what you're interested in. When you're in those groups, just because you're in the group, you're not done. You've got to make sure that you engage with communities. And when you're in those groups, make sure you talk with them and you don't talk at them or above the people within the group. Join in on the conversation, have fun with the conversation, and talk with somebody, not at somebody. Another thing that you can do if you're like, where the heck do I find groups? Where the heck do I find a community that's going to want my brand or my product or whatever it is? You can utilize your hashtags. We talk a lot about hashtags. They're not dead, contrary to what some people say. Utilize hashtags to find out what your ideal customer is looking for, what they are interested in, and use those to your advantage. So you can get your information and your product and your content in front of the right audience. Hashtags are fantastic search opportunities, so make sure you use them. I cannot stress this enough. Social is social. So, like I just said, talk with people, not talk at people. When somebody comments on your content, make sure you make sure you comment back, engage with them. If somebody has taken the time to actually comment on something that you have to say, that says that it resonated with them at some level. So, start the conversation. Another thing you can do is you can encourage people to leave a review of your product. Reviews are on Facebook, they're on Google My Business reviews are super powerful. Obviously reviews are on YouTube, all these platforms. LinkedIn, you can leave a testimonial or a review on LinkedIn as well. Those are really important. And when somebody is kind of curious about what you offer as maybe your personal brand or something that your business offers or a product that you sell, people go to the reviews and they check them out. Now, every once in a while, we hear and we see somebody leaving a negative review. It is so important that you address that review. Don't just email them or privately DM them. You actually have to say in the comment, hey, I'm really sorry that you feel like that. I just sent you a personal message or something to that effect. If you don't have their email, if you can't DM them, you have to then say, why don't you shoot me an email and we can work this out together. That shows your community that you care about them, and it will take you so much further than just ignoring the comment. And another thing that you can do regarding your community and how you can get in front of them is you can utilize social listening to hear what your ideal customer and what your audience is saying, and then you can start joining in on the conversation. Social listening is a super powerful tool. It'll actually help your organization avoid crisis. You can tone down something in the event that, maybe you have a recent recall or something negative is going on. Maybe, something bad happened with your guys's business. Use social listening and you can then get your brand name and you can actually work to change the conversation if it starts going negative to something positive. Another thing that you're going to start seeing on the rise is something called a decentralized app. What is that? A decentralized app is an app that is run and driven by consumers rather corporations. So apps like Be Real, have you heard of that one? Or LOL, they're different apps compared to TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, all of those ones. You're gonna see a couple of those partners kind of rise up and kind of enter the game. For example, I myself am on Be Real. Be Real is actually a really interesting platform because it shows the realness and not something that is maybe stylized like Instagram. You have the opportunity to kind of do that with your platform. But what Be Real has is they have the younger generations. You may want to check out those types of apps a little bit, and even if it's just for a short amount of time, you could go in and do some engagement with people on those apps, and you might learn something about your audience and or draw attention to your brand where the audience may not necessarily have found you if you weren't on one of these. When I say you can join these, even if for a short time, you don't have to say, okay, I'm going on Be Real and I'm going to be on here for the next 25 years or however long it is. You can do a shorter stint. Okay, we'll give it a try for 3 months if that's going great. Maybe we'll extend it for a year and whatnot. But you can use those apps to help with your engagement and your brand awareness. I have heard a lot of research on this, and this is kind of a scary topic. Not necessarily scary, but it's going to change the world of marketing. But they are predicting that the end of cookies are near. What you need to do if the cookies are staling out, and if you need to adjust and pivot elsewhere, you need to listen in on social listening. The Brand Yourself Cloud actually has a social listening option and a social listening tool. So if you're interested in that, let me know. But check out social listening. You've got to get intuitive with what people are saying about your brand, because that's going to help you, again, be able to get on top of issues. Or maybe somebody thinks that your product is really flipping great, and you also want to jump on that bandwagon too. It's best to be proactive rather reactive. Another thing that you want to start preparing yourself for in the event that your cookies are going to stale out and you need to figure out how to track other things. You need to ensure your SEO is in tip-top shape on your website. What do I mean by that? You want to make sure your H1 headings, your H2, your H3, your meta tags, all of those are keyword rich, and they are tweaked and adjusted for your guys' benefit for the maximum result when people search your content or relevant content. The most important thing that you can do though on your website is you have to make sure that your message is clear, it's not jumbled, and you don't have extra jargon that is not necessary in there. If you make those tweaks right now, I can tell you that you will be on the up and up if cookies decide to go on the decline. And finally, have you heard of the metaverse? The metaverse is essentially this virtual reality and this virtual universe that is in addition to this physical universe. So you're gonna start seeing stuff on the rise with this. When I'm talking about this, I'm talking about virtual reality, I'm talking about augmented reality, I'm talking about AI technology, I'm talking about NFTs, cryptos, all of those things. It's just this alternate universe. So I don't think that we're going to be seeing people walking around with VR goggles on. I don't think it's going to get to that point. But businesses are going to start hopping in, and people are going to start joining this metaverse. Now, the reason I am telling you this is this is a whole new can of worms, and this is a whole new game. I cannot stress this enough. If you are nervous, if you are like, okay, I don't know what to do, you don't have to jump balls in all the way, right away. You can take some time and sit back and you can think about it like, okay, I'm gonna watch how this unfolds. How is this going to work? And then once things kind of unroll, maybe that's your decision-making time. It's not gonna happen overnight either. This stuff has been going on for a little while. But like Meta, for example, they're doing a lot with virtual stuff right now. So I just wanted to give you a heads up. But in all, the most important thing that you can do is show up on your platforms authentically, show up with your brand as your authentic self. And if you do that, and if you keep your core values at the top of your messaging, I know you're gonna see some positive results. We have worked with a lot of clients and we've talked with some people about this stuff lately, and I'll be honest, it's a little overwhelming. Don't feel like you have to jump in with all of this stuff right away. If you, again, show up authentically, that's going to knock off transparency, being social, creating community, all of those things. As always, these are just some tips that we are offering to you to give you some insight. If you want to learn more about this stuff, or if you have any questions, obviously, please feel free to reach out. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We have some pretty great stuff that comes out every week. We hope you have a great day.